Alright, welcome. So today we have Cupid here with us. He's been very much so requested by you guys, surprisingly, so let's get right into it. I do want to cover some things about his abilities and his kit overall to help understand why you build a certain way for Cupid. Now, Cupid I feel is one of those hunters that is really bursty, I would say. Talking about his heart bomb, it does initial damage, which is quite a bit, and then it detonates for more damage, and that second tick of damage also cleaves and hits targets around it. It also slows, and it can stun if you have your passive all the way stacked up. So it does a lot of damage, and as well as you get your stacks up, as you can see, you get more damage for your abilities and also stronger heals. So it's very important to keep your passive up, keep landing your autos on minion waves or gods or jungle camps or whatever. And you can also look for attack speed items to help you build up your passive more quickly. But the second point is a lot of people forget that his flutter actually gives you buffs. It gives you 30% more movement speed while you're inside the flutter area and up to 30% more attack speed. So that's a huge steroid that a lot of people may not just know or just overlook. So you can use this to your advantage to, I guess you can kind of like stay in your flutter area and kind of juke around your target, strafing, or this can help you take down objectives a lot easier. And that's pretty much it. So let's go into actually building Cupid. Now for laning game modes, and also for arena, you can go into Transcendence. Transcendence, it's kind of pricey, right? But what this item allows you to do is get a lot of physical power rolling, because it's based on mana, and as your first item, you can get 50 stacks really easily. And so this allows you for your 1 to do a lot more damage, and the mana sustain from the P5 mana per 5 seconds. This allows you to spam your 1 a lot more often and help you clear. Now if you don't want to go into that for your laning and game mode, you can go into the Throne Dagger. As you can see, it's a lot more cheaper. And what this does, as you hit one target, it will cleave and hit targets around it. And you can use this, and this will allow you to have a lot more gold left over to invest in your boots and get to the rest of your build faster. If you don't want to go into either of those and you want to go for an actual starter item, then maybe Death's Toll, looking for a lot of sustain between your 2 and the heal from Death's Toll. And that's pretty much it. But let's just go into Transcendence for now. After you go into your starter item, you definitely go to your boots. I'd probably prefer you go into Warrior Tabby for stronger heals and stronger Heart Bomb, definitely. Especially paired up with the Transcendence, you're going to have a lot of physical power and your 1 is going to hit really hard. Just hopefully you can land it. Now after you go into your boots of your choosing, you have of course a good few options to go into. For Conquest, you will often see the Icavol paired up with the Aussie. As you can see, these two items are extremely cheap, and that's what we're about here in Smite, as being mostly cheap and efficient and get your items rolling as fast as possible. Icavol, in the early stages of the game, it's really strong, allows you to steal physical power from your target up to 30, and also gives you 30% more attack speed and 10 pin. It does a lot of things. As well as Aussie, this is the lifesteal version. It gives you the attack speed, penetration, and of course lifesteal and the passive is really strong. So you can go into both of these, the order is up to you. If you don't want to go into either one, I'd probably not go into Icavol and just rush the lifesteal into Kins. I kind of value Aussie overall more than Icavol. That's just my personal preference. But you can look at it as you already have a heal with your 2, so maybe you can just not go into Aussie and go into Icavol. The choice is up to you. But for now, let's just go into both these two items, and then you definitely want to have Kins. It's pretty much a staple core item for all hunters and most assassins right now, honestly. It's in a really good place for Season 3. The price for it is pretty decent, and the power curve, it just skyrockets, and it's a really strong item to go into. And then finally, you definitely want to have a pin item, and you can definitely just go into the Titan's Bane. Looking to have that solid 33% physical penetration at all times. You don't have to build stacks like Executioner, and Titan's Bane also affects objectives, and also of course really tanky gods. And even if the god is not building any physical protection, as they get to like level 20, right, all gods have physical power scaling as they level up. As you can see on the bottom left, I'm keeping it have 71 in physical protection, so percent pen is still always good. And then you can sell your Icavol late game, because it doesn't really translate the best to late game, I feel. And you can sell this, and you can go to the Oboe, allowing for a lot of spread damage. If you don't want to go into that, you can go into a crit item if you really want to, or you can go into the Haste Ventalis, looking to box your target and just kind of stick to them, and they can't run away, especially since you can flutter to them and then trap them and cripple them with your ultimate. So there's a lot of different areas you can go to, or different items, yeah, I should say, you can go into. But now let's go into an arena build. Arena, you can go into Transcendence if you really want to. You can't, because you do have a dash, so you don't have to have boots right away. It's just for a stack an item for hunters, it's a little tough because you have mages right with you, and they can clear the wave so much faster than you can. But for for just normal build for Arena. I'll just go into the Warrior type of boots. Next, this is my own personal preference. I like to go into the Haste Mentalis Kins just because I like to play super aggressive with my hunters and I like to just bully them and just keep poking them. That's my own personal preference. As far as Ichval in Arena, I wouldn't really advise it because it directly affects physical gods. You can build up physical power against magical gods, but you can't steal their physical power if they're a mage, obviously. So I probably wouldn't go into that. You can go into like Aussie Kins, but I personally like to go to the Hasten into Kins because I like to bully people, so as far as in gaming. So, and I'll go into something like this. Again, you can go to the other items like I talked about, and then you can rush into the Titan's Bane, and then you can go with a crit build. You can go with like the Rage and the Deathbringer. You can go into something like this. You get really high attack speed, and you can also stick to your targets. You have Kins, you have Pen, and you have crit. You can go into something like this. And there's a lot of different varieties of builds you can go into for Conquest. If you don't, not for Conquest, for Arena, sorry. If you don't want to go into some of these other items, other optional items, again, would be Oboe. Oboe, I feel like it helps a lot for Hunters in Arena, just so you can actually just clear waves a lot faster in case of a mage is not near you, and allows for Hunters to do a lot more spread damage, because it is Arena, and all the gods are pretty much stacked up with each other. It's not like Conquest where they're divided up in jungles, right? So you can get a lot of good spread damage and kind of scare the opponents with the Oboe, and it's going to really help out your damage output by a lot. Lifesteal in Arena, I don't feel like it's necessary, but it's definitely a good tool to have. I would say you probably wouldn't need it since you do have your 2 to heal you up, but if you would like to go into a lifesteal item in Arena, you can just go into Aussie. I wouldn't feel Dev Gloves would be necessary for Arena because it'll take way too long to build up the stacks, and you could look for a Blood Forge, looking for a lot of more physical power. And that is pretty much it. Hopefully it was helpful and give you some ideas what to build for your Cupid for different game modes and what items are good. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.